You crazy son of a bitch, you did.
Hello everyone and welcome to Action RPG. I'm your host Aaron, and for today's video we're headed to the world of WASD Epoch. Mike, one of the senior developers at 11th Hour Games, held his normal Friday Q&A live stream on Twitch, which means I get to bring you Dev Chat 157. As always, Mike answered lots of great questions from the community and gave us some pretty juicy teasers for the highly anticipated Season 2 coming in April. Now before we jump into that, huge shout out to the sponsor of today's video, yes of course, the Crimson Market. Now if you don't know about the Crimson Market, they have some of the coolest tech on their website and Discord for trading items inside of action RPGs. But what I truly love about the Crimson Market is of course the Crimson Club. Now these guys build a custom gaming desktop every single month, and I mean truly custom, and give it away to their club members. And right now you can join the Crimson Market, get into the Crimson Club using their golden ticket, which is going to give you 30 days royal tier. I'm telling you, these are awesome guys. They sponsor people like Rax, and Woody is normally where they give out the computer. First link in the description to check out the Crimson Market. And again, huge thanks for sponsoring today's video. All right, let's jump right into this. This first question really isn't a question. Mike says something, and I just want you all to hear this, okay? I want you all to hear this.
A lot of the stuff in April is focused around like endgame content, and so like I don't know, it's so hard to say because obviously I just want to be like, yeah, play the game now, it's great, it's tons of fun, and I think that's true. But I don't want to be like, I don't know, I have a hard time with things like this.
I am currently under NDA because I am part of the tester group, so I can't say anything about what is coming, but what I can say is a lot of the Season 2 stuff is going to be around Endgame. Now let's talk skills.
Outside of the big Sentinel skill changes, will the other classes also have some dramatic skill changes, interactions, or will they have more numerical updates? There's going to be a whole host of both. So there's going to be, I would say, more mechanical changes on Sentinel than the other four combined, because there's a lot on Sentinel, but everyone gets something. And I mean, there's like, there can be things as small as like a unique item can have a new unique item can have a huge impact on a build and a class and the way it plays and all that sort of thing. So you know, like there's changes in passives, there's changes in skill trees, there's changes in all sorts of stuff all over the place. Sentinel is just by far getting the most because one of its, or volatile, we've said it by now, volatile reversal, one of its like core primary abilities that is used in just about every build for the wrong reasons, is getting a complete overhaul. Base functionality, skill tree, the works, the way it interacts with other skills, items, everything. And that has a huge ripple effect because basically every other skill in Sentinel was hanging on by a thread damage wise just because it was being propped up by volatile reversal. And so now that we've kind of taken that requirement for volatile reversal to be used away from the ability, so everything else needed to get a big buff, basically.
And remember that EHG has already said new skills are coming as well. I've already reported on this, but just in case you didn't know.
What are one of the major changes to the Sentinel class? I mean, there's quite a few. There's a bunch in the, if you haven't seen the Tower Monthly post, there's a list of all the spoilers we did last month. I think Kane's been linking that. There's one of my favorites in there is the ability to wield a two-handed weapon and a shield at the same time. There is a downside to that node which we did not spoil yet because we're still tweaking the numbers on it, making sure we're pleased with the exact amount that it's taking away from other stuff. But yeah, using a two-hander with a shield is pretty huge. There's a lot of things that opens up. Especially on abilities like Javelin, where you're using a two-handed spear and a shield now, so there's a bunch of new defensive options there, and some new nodes that work and synergies that work that didn't work before. Yeah,
it's gonna be awesome. Javazon updates on console release.
a console release? No, we don't have any information regarding a potential console release. It's something that we really want to do, but there's a lot of groundwork that needs to get laid before we can really even commit to specifics there. We are doing a lot of work on like Steam Deck improvements and our just controller improvements in general. So we are in 1.2 adding in context and specialization specific controller targeting systems for every single ability in the game. So what does that mean? Because that was a big mouthful of technical mumbo jumbo that didn't really say much. Basically, when you cast Fireball, it's gonna actually turn and fire and shoot Fireball at the most logical enemy. And if you have Fireball that has, probably maybe a bad example. If you have, it's a better one. Okay, let's say you have a Ballista. Here's a good example. Ballista has certain nodes in Ballista where you really want to cast it near you so that it will get buffs, because it buffs you and you buff it, and so standing nearby it is really important. But then there's nodes where it's got like a tripwire between the two ballistas, get tripwire between them, and they explode and they deal damage to enemies near them. So you want to place the ballista near your enemies. And so depending on which specialization you've picked, it will either place them close to you or close to enemies. So it's context specific targeting for each individual ability based on how you specialized it.
Yes.
It honestly just takes controller to the next level. I get asked this question a lot, so I'm gonna let Mike answer it.
How does it feel when you see big names like Diablo and PoE take things that you created, introduce them, put them into their games? I mean, like it's incredible when you can see the influence you're having on the games that you love to play in general. It's so cool having that, like. And like, I don't think it's as cut and dry, just like, oh, they see something, they take something. It's like you're solving the same problems. Lots of times, I know there's been times when us and PoE have been like actively working on the same thing at the same time. And you know, like it happens the other way too, where we release something and someone else, it's like, oh, it's just from some other game. So I don't think there's any like malicious intent happening or anything like that, but it is very cool to see when it's almost validating, you know, like where you're like this thing you worked on, and it's like even if it had nothing to do with I mean, especially actually if it had nothing to do with seeing it in our game first, and it just happened to be spontaneously the same or similar implementations for solving problems, and it's just being like, okay, well, they think it's a good idea too, you know. And that's really cool to see.
Teaser 1.
Unrelated, but I feel like let's share some stuff right now. Teaser 1, here we go. I only have 2 today, but they're both cool. So,
yep.
This is the first one. This is an update for a Sentinel node. I'm pretty sure I'm like 90% sure we haven't shared this one yet. If we have already, I'm sorry.
You have not.
But here we go. So this is a new Void Knight passive node that is quite nice.
This node will be mandatory, which is crazy that they put it in. Elemental damage taken is void, which you can get up to 50% because you can put 5 points into this. Void damage taken -4. This is going to be massive for survivability. While Mike was playing, he said something and people were like, wait, what? Listen to this.
So blind. That's actually not a bad pickup. You're also gonna want to start picking up set items soonish, I think, maybe.
People were like, wait, what? Why should we start picking up set items? Which led to this.
Will we see new stuff around set items this patch coming or later? It'll either be this patch or next patch. We're working on it.
Maybe, maybe not. With the successful launch of Path of Exile 2, you can understand this next question, I think, was asked 10 times.
Or was the movement coming to LE at some point? By the way, is awesome. Keep it up. Maybe. You know, it's a very, very hotly requested feature at the moment. You know, like we're testing out different options for it. Like there's definitely no timeline, no promises on any of it at all. But like we are looking at, this is something that the community is very vocally saying that they're interested in as a feature. And we love to deliver on things for people that they want. It's kind of a simple, hey, a bunch of people want this, can we do it type thing, is sort of how we look at things like that. And so we're exploring our options, but there's a few blockers in place that are making it possibly not feasible for us in next patch type thing. But it's on the table. That's about the best I can say for it.
And on Reddit, they said they currently have a prototype version of Last Epoch with WASD movement, but of course they are working through. It's not just easy like flipping a switch. Now let's talk about Teaser 2. If you are new to Last Epoch, this is probably going to be like, oh, this is a nothing burger. If you've been playing as long as I have, this is one of the most awesome features coming to Season 2, and I'm so happy that EHG is sharing it.
A cool little screenshot from the settings panel. I know it's kind of weird, like a settings panel. It's been some settings panel stuff. Well, this is a new option in the settings panel that will show up in 1.2. Slightly redacted.
Yes. Let's go ahead and pause it right there. Stackable item storage. Shards, runes, glyphs, and key storage, common and rare. You pick them up, they no longer go into your inventory and you have to hit the transfer button. They send them immediately to your storage. Absolutely massive quality of life feature for Last Epoch. And yes, there's one down here, redacted, because it's not announced yet. Now let's talk crafting changes.
The crafting system in Elite is so amazing. Thank you and the team for the hard work that's gone into that. But is there anything new or further improvements coming to the crafting system in next season? Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Yes, definitely yes. Yeah, I can't talk about it yet. See this big grin? Yeah. It's gonna be great.
He can't hold back.
There's changes to things in these categories coming. There's additions, there's removal, and it's a good thing, trust me. There's other systems as well that are getting added for more crafting stuff in new situations. Yeah, there's lots of cool crafting stuff coming. Yeah, it's gonna be great.
In my opinion, Last Epoch already has the best crafting system in the entire genre, and it's only getting better. All right, everyone. Unfortunately, we have come to the final question for Dev Chat 157. Mike's going to talk a little bit about 2025 and content coming. As always, Mike, thank you for your Friday live streams. The community truly appreciates it. It really sets EHG apart from the competition. Everyone out there, please like, share, and subscribe. Of course, if you think I have earned it, check out the Discord. We're approaching 4,500 members. Right now, we actually have a giveaway for a free copy of Last Epoch. It's where we do all our game nights, movie nights, community events. It's an awesome place to hang out. Best way to support is Patreon. And again, huge shout out to the Crimson Market for sponsoring today's video. All right, Mike, I'm done. Take it away.
I think, just tons more content. I think that would be the big, just like this is 2025 is going to be Last Epoch's, I hope, the most content released that we've had. That would be my goal. That'd be my personal goal. It's just like get as much content out as possible. And like, I know the main project I'm working on right now that's for post 1.2, it like the number, like we're like, okay, we need this many of this thing Mike, start now because it's gonna take you a long time. Like that number is an absurd number where I'm like, we're gonna do it, we can do it, but like, it's crazy. when that gets revealed, you'll be like, I see what you've been doing for the last year, Mike. Yeah. So yeah, lots of content. I think that's the big thing. It's just this is content year. Content.